Hello creative people, welcome back to the channel. This is Emily Green, I am a Spanish illustrator, and today we are going to talk about 3 ways you can modify certain areas of your illustrations without affecting others by using masks in Procreate. So first things first, what is masking in Procreate? Masking is simply a non-destructive way to selectively edit and manipulate different parts of your drawings without altering the original layers permanently. And we say it is a non-destructive way of doing so because your original work will not be affected if you make a mistake or want to make any changes to it. There are 3 main types of mask in Procreate that we will be covering today: alpha lock, layer mask and clipping mask. Alpha lock is a feature that allows you to restrict editing to the existing pixels of a layer. What this means is that the transparent areas of the layer, which are the ones that haven't been colored, will be locked, so it prevents you from painting outside the visible shape of your image. To turn Alpha Lock on, you simply have to go to the Layers panel on the top right corner of the app. Then select the layer you want to use Alpha Lock in, tap on it again and select Alpha Lock. You know that Alpha Lock is active because you will be able to see a checkered background in the thumbnail. Alpha Lock is ideal if what you want is to maintain clear shapes and recolor parts of your work without damaging your original picture. However, Alpha Lock is a bit limited in that once a layer is locked, you cannot paint or add elements outside the existing shape unless you unlock the layer. To unlock the layer, you have to tap on the Alpha Locked layer and tap on Unlock. But having to lock and unlock a layer to add more detail to it can be a bit tedious. You can use a layer mask to hide or show any part of its parent layer, which is the layer you want to modify, without erasing any of its content. In other words, layer mask allows you to conceal or reveal parts of the layer below. To activate the layer mask function, you need to select and tap on the layer you want to work on, and then tap on Mask. You know it is activated because a new white layer will be shown on your Layers panel that it is connected to the layer you want to modify. Notice that when working on the mask layer, even though I had a color previously selected, I can only work using black, grey and white. And that is because in order to reveal or conceal certain parts of the layer I want to modify, I can only use those 3 shades. White is going to reveal the image and black is going to conceal it. And if you use grey, the opacity will vary depending on the shade of grey you use. Let's have a look at an example. I've drawn a flower with little berries on it, but to make it look a bit more realistic, some of the berries will be behind the stem. So instead of creating that effect without erasing the berries, I can use a mask layer on them. Now, using black, I can erase the berries that will go behind the stem of the flower. If I want those berries to show again, I only need to use white. And this way, the original layer containing the berries will not be altered. Layer masks can be a bit tricky to master at the beginning because you have to get used to them. You can only erase or add back to the primary layer, which means you cannot use colors to add details. They also add to your layer count. The more layers you have, the slower the app will run, which might be a bit problematic if you're using older devices, as it might slow them down. Also, if you're a beginner and just learning about the app, adding layer masks can make the structure of your layer panel look a bit more complex and confusing. Though, as I said before, it is just a matter of getting used to it. And then last but not least, we've got clipping mask. This is one of my personal favorite and the one I use the most in all my illustrations. Clipping mask is a type of mask that allows you to clip a layer to the layer underneath it, which is the one you want to modify. The shape and the transparency of the layer below the mask will control the contents and transparency of the clipped layer. This is very useful because unlike with alpha lock or layer masks, you can actually stack clipping mask layers above a single base layer, which in my opinion allows for the creation of more complex visual effects. To activate clipping mask, you simply need to add a new layer above the layer you want to modify. So tap on the layer that is going to act as your base layer. Then press the plus symbol on the top right corner of your layers panel. As you can see, a new layer has been added. Now we're going to tap on it and select clipping mask. You will know it's activated because you will be able to see a little arrow that indicates that that clip layer will only affect the base layer. I personally love using clipping masks layers to add shadows, highlights and textures to my base colors by using different blend modes. For example, if you use a clipping mask and set the blending mode to multiply, you'll have nice shades, and if you set it to screen, you'll get nice highlights. I used to think clipping mask is the perfect way to experiment using blending modes if you are new to the app, because the base layer will not be altered. The only real disadvantage that it has is that, just like mask layer, it adds to the total layer count, and that means that the more layers you use, the slower the app will run, and again, this might be a problem if you're using older devices. If you're starting out in Procreate, I would strongly recommend investing a little bit of time in learning how to use these 3 types of masks to see which one is more comfortable for you to use and to incorporate in your illustrating routines. It might be a bit of a learning curve at the beginning, but with time you'll notice that thanks to using masks, the time you spend illustrating will be reduced, while the overall quality of your illustrations will improve. And over time you will notice that once you have mastered those 3 types of masks, you will be able to even use them all together, taking even more advantage of all the benefits they have to offer. So there we have it, those are the 3 main types of masks that you can use in Procreate. And now I'm quite curious, did you know about all of them? Do you use them in your illustrations? If so, how do you like to use them? Let me know down there in the comments so we can all learn together. And if you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss another artsy video. If you want to follow my journey as an illustrator, you can also follow me on Instagram @EverlyGreenArt, where I post all my work. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely day. See you in the next video. Bye!